we're going to be looking at some very new features that Salesforce has to offer, but also some very forward-thinking things that are on our product roadmap. So to properly set our expectations there, we need to review Salesforce's Safe Harbor slide. Now, if you've never seen this slide before, all it means is that when it comes to Salesforce, any purchasing decisions that you make should be based on the functionality that you have at the time of purchase and not on roadmap items.
Hi, I'm Sriram Iyer, and I'm in the product space here at Sales Cloud. I lead our performance management with Work.com and the Microsoft integration divisions. So let's talk about the problem. For a long time, and I've been with Salesforce for about 7-8 years now, and I've always seen this constant focus on hard metrics. That's what sales cares about, and we get it. But there's also a bunch of softer metrics that ultimately lead to these hard metrics, and that's what we have found through our research and through all the work that our partners have done. So for instance, 90% of the managers don't spend enough time coaching or motivating their sales reps, or 67% of sales reps miss their quota. And all these have been looked as softer metrics in the past. But what we have found is ultimately when you kind of connect all these dots, you will find that it is an impact to your bottom line. And that is what we are trying to solve here and bridge those gaps. So many of you already take advantage of the awesome functionality that is available with our SFA or core SFA platform. Sales performance sits right on top of it. So now you can onboard your employees, or you can coach your employees, mentor your employees, give them badges, give them ongoing feedback without losing the sales context. Right? So if you're talking about a deal and you're on an opportunity and you find that there's a new rep and you want to coach that rep on that opportunity because you have dealt in that space before, you don't have to leave that context and go to another system. You can actually leave a coaching record or a note right on that opportunity. So such connections are now possible because we have kind of brought these two worlds together. Right? And again, talking about the same metrics, right? We talk about skill development, we talk about sales coaching. So we have found that customers who use Sales Cloud and Work.com or similar solutions together see a significant improvement in those soft metrics that ultimately lead to better sales conversion and figures. So in this study that was done some time back, we saw 38% percent increase in skill development, or a whopping 50% increase in recognition achievements, but that ultimately translated or correlated to a 32% increase in sales.
32% increase in sales.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So let's talk about the philosophy of how we look at sales performance at Salesforce. And whenever we are prioritizing or designing features, we always come back to this wheel of performance. So anecdotally, again, we have found that a lot of companies spend a lot of time and resources in hiring the best of the best when it comes to talent. You've seen, especially in Silicon Valley, you have these puzzle rounds and 9 or 10 rounds of interviews. But on the other hand, we have also seen data where most of these superstars iterate in the first few years of the company, typically in the first 2 years of the company. So what happens there? You hire a superstar, you've invested so much in the process, but then you're not able to, especially kind of leverage on that relationship. So I think the first thing that any company needs to do is it needs to invest in the process of onboarding talent. So again, if we come back to the Salesforce example, we have a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day onboarding process where you're assigned mentors, you're assigned buddies, and every time you hit a milestone, you're automatically rewarded a badge. So it tells you that you're in the right direction, you're in the right space, and employees feel empowered, engaged, and motivated to perform. Second, when you're in that journey, obviously you'll come across areas that are pitfalls or skill areas that you need to develop. So Salesforce, Work.com helps you identify those skill areas and also helps you patch you to experts in those skills that you can network with and you can improve your skills. So ultimately, you end up developing careers instead of assigning sequential tasks or just working on activities. So that gives a larger purpose to why you're doing a particular job.
Absolutely.
Right? So it defines the way you have the career conversation. And then once you have a success story, and then another one, and the third one, you can amplify those willing behaviors. You can actually make a template of it and roll it out, either through a learning management system or a training portal or whatever have you, and you can just replicate that success over a period of time. So that is the vision that we are trying to achieve with Work.com on Salesforce. So talking about the features that kind of bring this vision to a reality, of course, we have recognition, we talk about badging, skills, and rewards to drive performance. And I'm happy to report that now they are included with your Sales Cloud license.
Excellent.
So if you're a Sales Cloud customer, you don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to purchase these. They come automatically bundled. So you can go ahead, give this a shot in your organization and try it for yourself. The other aspects, goals, coaching, feedback, and performance, are now bundled into one single Work.com license. Okay. So I think this is going to make the experience of trying Work.com and enabling it with your sales environments much more easier. The second biggest kind of thing that has happened with Work.com since we've started working on it is that now Work.com is 100% native in Salesforce. What that means is you can actually extend Work.com objects and components the same way you would extend accounts or opportunities or any standard object. So all the platform goodness and the platform capabilities are now able on Work.com as well. So that's something that we are really excited about. We are also excited to see what our partner community will do with this, because now they can build exciting apps on top of Work.com, and we have already seen some traction in that area. One example that's close to my heart that I would like to point out here, and that this has been one of the frequently asked ideas on Idea Exchanges, how can we leverage feedback and bring it to other areas that pertain to our company? Some companies want to have active survey management, or some companies want to give more ongoing feedback. Some companies want to tie feedback to the annual or quarterly performance cycle. So there are different ways of utilizing this tool, this gift that I call, that is feedback. So now that feedback is on the platform, it's fast, it's robust, it's scalable. You can send feedback via performance cycles to up to 10,000 people at a time, and it happens in a matter of minutes. Wow. So we have made a lot of improvements in the performance and scalability of that feature. B, it's customizable. Again, to talk about ideas, one of the ideas was, hey, Salesforce has this awesome file uploading capacity where you can use a CSV file to upload a lot of objects, using popular tools like Data Loader. So now we have kind of brought in that functionality with performance management and feedback. So if you have a big organization and you want to reach out to all your sales users in one go, you can just kind of make a report of all those users, either using their user IDs or usernames, and upload it, and boom, it sends out a feedback or performance summary request to all those users in your organization within a matter of minutes. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to set that up.
Great.
And of course, because we are true to the core, just to reiterate, we are on the Force.com platform, so you can extend it, you can customize it the way you want. Either internally using your IT resources, you can build Visual Force pages or build workflows, validation rules, or you can even look to partner apps to extend the Work.com experience.
Right.
So let's go into, by the way, this is how the new Create Feedback screen looks with the list views, and let's go into a demo. This is a new sales rep in my organization, and I'm seeing the chatter feed here, and I can see that he has already started reviewing a lot of information that is available. Again, this is one of the examples of how Chatter and Work.com or any of the Salesforce components work together. One of the examples of how these two entities work together is the thanks record, for instance. So here I can see that the sales rep can actually give someone a thanks badge directly from the Chatter feed. So not only that, all these badges are available, and you will see that some of these badges have a number associated with them, and that number is nothing but the amount of the reward card that person is eligible to grant. So badges are tied with rewards, and again, all this is secure. You can set up your own rules to say only managers above a certain grade are able to give rewards worth X amount. So all that is configurable in the background. Not only that, you can also go ahead and be playful with it in the sense that you can create your own badges, right? When you're creating badges, you can get pretty creative. You can upload your own, image files to it, and really, it's a great tool for enabling a culture of giving thanks and rewarding your employees. So that was badges, and then once you move on to the overview, you can also see all the skills that this employee has. And again, the way we approach skills is kind of two-pronged. You can make it as open as you want in the sense that here you see these small thumbs up symbols. So if I wanted to go ahead and rank Jigger as a retail industry expert, I can actually go ahead and give him a thumbs up, and you will see those ratings add up. But if you also wanted to kind of tie to certifications or a more formal process, you can actually break those skills down and say these 10 skills are available to use only when you get these certifications or learning courses going. So either your HR department or your management can lock down a certain portion of skills. So it's very flexible. Moving on to goals, again, you can see the goals directly in the employee profile, but once you drill down on your goal, again, you will see that the layout is very simple, but you can extend goals, right? You can create your own custom fields on goals. But my favorite aspect of goal is tying it to metrics.
Yes.
Like you, I started as a sales guy way back, and I remember one of the first goals during my onboarding was make 30 calls. I was just like cold calling. Yeah. So at the end of the day, my manager would come to me and say, okay, have you done those 30 calls? And I would say yes. And he would have to just take my word for it. Or I would have a notepad or a log, right? But not anymore.
Not anymore.
Now, what you can do is you can actually tie these goals to a metric right here in Salesforce data. So if you have a call log report, you can tie it to that metric, and the metric automatically upgrades every day as you make those calls, right? So I can either tie a metric to Salesforce data and have it automatically updated, or I can even have it manually updated. And of course, because it's in the platform, you can extend it the way you want.
Yeah.
But metrics don't just stop at goals; they actually go on the coaching record as well. So now if I'm having a coaching relationship one-on-one with my employee, and I want to have some tangible goals for that employee, so I can actually tie those open metrics right there to the coaching notes. So the next time I say, okay, in a week, let's review your progress on this goal, you have a tangible report to fall back to, and you can look at all those metrics. So in this example, I can see that this employee is behind on sending this marketing content versus he's doing pretty well on logging the Salesforce activities. So you can do that. You can also give it a target value, and you can comment, and you can tie to different goals, right? Next, let me go to feedback, which is the other important pillar. So feedback is available 100% on the platform. It went GA this release. So
generally available with Winter 16?
With Winter 16.
Excellent.
Exactly. So this is something that the whole team is very proud of. And a lot of user research and a lot of discovery went behind when we reimagined feedback on the Salesforce platform. So just to show you one of the examples of that, in our research, we saw that a lot of people typically use these 7 or 8 feedback list views out of the box. So if I'm a manager, I want to instantaneously collect all the feedback about my team. So instead of giving it just an option where they could go ahead and create a new view, we actually built that view out of the box. So you don't have to do anything. When you launch the new feedback experience, you'll just be delighted to see that all that feedback is automatically collated and is presented to you. Or for instance, if you want to see just the new feedback replies, all the new mails in your inbox, or all the feedback requests that are pending for you, we have actually made all those things available out of the box. But that is not to say that you cannot go ahead and create your own list view. And you can just slice and dice it the way you want. Again, based on user research, we have a list of fields for you to begin with. But if you don't want to look at the due date and you want to look at some other date, you can actually just go ahead, drag and drop that new date, and that's available for you right there. Right. So feedback ties to performance cycles typically in a performance environment. So let's talk a bit about performance cycles. Again, out of the box, we wanted to make the performance experience very simple, very intuitive. So you will just see those two components in the performance cycle. And once you fill in those three key fields, that's it. You're done. Your performance cycle launches. Yeah. In the sense it's ready to go. It's in the setup stage. Next up, what you can do is you can attach question sets to it. Mm-hmm. And with the CSV functionality that I just spoke about, you can upload at a time up to 10,000 users in a batch. And if you're an administrator, to monitor this whole experience behind the scenes so that you're not having any anxiety attacks as to when this is happening, we have also given you an activity tracker section where the system automatically tells you as to which area of the cycle it is in and what it's doing. So you can actually go to that link and monitor those things for yourself. And of course, all this, because it's in the same Salesforce platform, it auto-magically ties up and you can create your own list views, you can create your own dashboards. So these numbers just bubble up. In fact, we do have a work.com reporting package also available on the App Exchange. Okay. So if you want to get a head start on your reporting experience, you can just download that package and it just works with all these fields that I've just described.
That sounds fantastic.
Cool. So with that, I believe these are some of the awesome things that we are working on. We'll continue to invest in work.com and just give us your feedback through the success community, and we are more than happy to collaborate with you.
Is work.com going to come to the new Lightning experience?
The answer is yes, 100%. Yes. That is one of the top priorities that we are evaluating, and we will be working on that pretty soon.
What do they have to do to start using badges?
That's a great question. So if you are a Sales Cloud customer, badging is available to you. I mean, you don't have to buy a separate license. Badging is now a part of the Sales Cloud license. So for all the Sales Cloud customers out there, you can go ahead and start enabling and just playing with just the whole magic of badging, as they call it. So yeah, it's available for you out there.
Great. I mean, that's good news for a lot of people. Can you speak a little bit about how Salesforce is seeing performance management evolve and how we think that we're going to be seeing it in the future?
I think that's a great question. So we believe that the definition of performance management has evolved beyond these tools. Mm-hmm. So work.com is still a very essential pillar for us when it comes to defining performance management. But if you look through our Lightning components, for instance, you will see glimpses of performance all across. So to give you some examples, if you look at the homepage, we have the My Quarterly Performance Dashboard lodged right there, top, front, and center. So that's a very powerful performance tool for the sales rep. On the right, you see the assistant. In the future, you will see that the assistant is going to become smarter, and you're going to be able to attach or associate newer cards on the Lightning Assistant. So one of the use cases could be you could have coaching insights or coaching alerts pop up right on the assistant. The sales path is another great example of where performance management kind of ties with the sales story. So the sales path gives you recommendations per the sales stage you are on. So those recommendations are nothing but insights or but mentoring or coaching advice that you get when you are on your sales cycle. Mm-hmm. So we look at performance holistically, and as I said, as we reimagine work.com on the Lightning experience, you are going to see a lot of these aspects evolving in the performance management space.